Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, the DRFBets race of the day for Thursday, August the 16th. Race number 3 at Saratoga. It's the Union Avenue Stakes for New York breds. You can play it with a new DRFBets account and 10 times the sign-up bonus. Bet 20, get 200. Head on over to drf.com/bet for more information. Let's throw up this small but select field of fillies and mares going 6.5 furlongs at the Spa on Thursday in the Union Avenue Stakes. You can download free Formulator Pass performances on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Let's handicap the field together from post position order, beginning with Absolutely. And Absolutely's last win came way back in the Iroquois last year when she couldn't have gotten a better trip. So I'm going to take that 98 buyer speed figure, the only 90 plus buyer, with a grain of salt. But I do think that Absolutely has run some nice races in the past.
Yeah, she certainly has. I think the question boils down to, do you think she can get back to a race such as, I don't know, the Garland of Roses, which is going to be a mid-80 sort of buyer. Realistically, she's a low to mid-80 kind of horse, I think, on her best day. You look at the two most recent starts, they both leave a little bit to be desired. If you believe Charlie Baker and the advance on DRF.com, he seems to think that she's coming into this in good form. I'm not so optimistic. I don't think that field that she ran against most recently at Dancing Renee, I don't think that was all that strong. I'm going to side against her.
While she doesn't seemingly have a lot of pace on the Timeform US pace projector, we're going to throw it up right now. It's a 5-horse field. We're going to have a blue bar out there indicating that the pace is going to be slow or favors horses on or near the early lead. It must be noted that Absolutely in that Garland of Roses arguably was the horse that got Pico Uno beat. She basically dueled with Pico Uno. Pico Uno emerged with the lead, and Pico Uno was run down by the sharp Kazan. If you want to say, oh, okay, something happened in the La Verdad which necessitated a 6-month layoff, and then she needed the race off the 6-month layoff last time out, you can make some excuses for Absolutely, who switches to Jose Ortiz, and as you mentioned in Dave Brenning's excellent advance on DRF.com, Charlie Baker seems very happy with the way Absolutely's coming into this race. I think the number 2 Swing and Sway is an outside chance at a decent price. This horse beat Open Stakes Company over a wet track at Oaklawn Park back in April, then was overmatched in the Vagrancy, a graded race 2 starts back. Most recently in the Saylorville, there was just no pace on, if you believe the Timeform US color-coded pace figures, and she ran behind Golden Mischief, a horse that came back to win by 7+ lengths with a 93 buyer. I think Swing and Sway's got the tactical speed to work out a trip.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting to see that she's going to finally get back to facing New York bred company for the first time since, early mid-2017. It's been some time that she's been against the Open Company. And the good thing about her, with the tactical ability that she brings to the table, if you think Pico Uno clears off like the pace projector suggests, I think there's a scenario where Javier just angles out into the clear and sits just off. And who knows, if Pico Uno fires her best shot, maybe she's just simply the best horse in the race. But if for some reason she stumbles a little bit, maybe Swing and Sway is the one that gets first run.
We've talked about it so many times with Wonderment. It's like a broken record. She won that graded stakes race over the Polytrack back in 2016 and has yet to see Polytrack since. It's just kind of weird. Ken McPeek's been fiddling. He took the Lasix off last time out in the Shine Again Stakes, and she was 48-1 and just didn't do any running. I wonder if she's going to get much better. Her best buyer speed figure of a 90 came over a sloppy track. I don't know. I'm waiting for a synthetic race for Wonderment.
Yeah, I don't think she's particularly good regardless of surface, but at the end of the day, I mean, again, whenever she shows up, we have to keep saying it. She's 1 for 1 on the synth, and it was her best sort of win to date. Why not find a race at Woodbine or at Presque Isle or at Turfway or somewhere? I realize she's a New York bred and there's plenty of big purse money there. I don't think she's a dirt.
Let's throw up our top picks for the Union Avenue. Jason Service has the 4 and the 5 in here. You like Bonita Bianca, who did some really good work for Rudy Rodriguez last year at arguably distances that were a bit too long for her. Ever since Service got her, he's turned her back and concentrated on sprinting. And last time out against Open Stakes foes at Delaware, that was just a really tough field.
Really tough field. You look and see, you got Lake Pontchartrain in there, you got Karen, you got a 7th place finisher that came back and earned an 86. They were all in the sort of that mid to high 80 range. The interesting thing is, you go back and watch that race down there at Delaware, she's down on the inside and she just is not running for whatever reason it may be, whether it's kickback or for some other reason. Eventually, Paco looks like he's just going to wrap up on her, but he angles her out to the clear, and she comes with actually a little bit of a belated run. If you think it was a matter of maybe she just didn't like being down inside, and you think you can get back to a race like she had 2 starts back at Monmouth, where she defeated a horse, Starship Reina, who came back and was a next out winner with an 87 buyer, If you think we can get back to that mid to high 80 range, I think Bonita Bianca is interesting. The question comes down to, is anyone else going to pressure the outside horse Pico Uno? Because if they don't, she might just be gone.
That's really the key to the race. Pico Uno went gate to wire in the Dancin' Renee last time out at Belmont. Earned a 96 Beyer speed figure seemingly out of nowhere. I mean, I followed Pico Uno's career and I've always liked her. I've never thought of her as a 96 Beyer, and I highly doubt that she's going to run a race like that on Wednesday. But if she regresses 10 points, you still can make a case for her given the pace scenario. She won this race last year. It looks like she's going to get loose on the lead, but if you read Dave Grenning's advance on DRF.com, it doesn't seem like Jason Service is oozing confidence.
No, he had said something along the lines of discussing the form leading into the Dancin' Renee and how she's come out of it. She's semi close to what she was. Doesn't sound like it's the most confident thing I've ever heard, but it's trainer speak. You know, there's always a situation where how often are you going to get the real story out of them? I think it's a scenario where, again, she's arguably the best horse in the race. She's arguably going to have the best trip from the outside. I think if you're a rad, you just send her and you say, come and catch me if anybody else can.
Give me numbers, because I think Bonita Bianca sits a good trip in the second flight behind her on couple mate.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I mean, to me, it's just 4 or 5. I think it's one of those things where I think they're probably the two best in here. If I needed to use anyone else, maybe I use a little swing and sway, but 4 or 5 for me.
I'll go 5, 1, 4, 2 in the $100,000 Union Avenue Stakes. Maybe Pico Uno can take it for the second year in a row. If you're betting the Saratoga card on Thursday, consider a new DRFBets account. You get 10 times the sign-up bonus. Bet 20, grab 200. DRF.com/bets where you need to go. An approximate post time for the Union Avenue, a race of a Patrice at the Spa on Thursday, 2:14 Eastern. Best of luck.